in London, better known as the Old Bailey, where 4 young gentlemen will be appearing accused of conspiracy to murder Sasha Johnson. And not long ago, I had the opportunity to interview Sasha Johnson's personal assistant, Andy Morris, and he's currently inside of the court and he's in the public gallery, and he will be watching the proceedings which are due to take place at 09:30 in the morning. So it's due to start in a few moments' time, but they will be appearing in this Central Criminal Court here in London via video link from, I believe, Belmarsh Prison. They won't be here in person, but they have been charged with conspiracy to murder Sasha Johnson, the BLM leader who was shot in the head in Consort Rd in Peckham on the 23rd of May 2021. So Sasha was shot in the head nearly 5 weeks ago now, and those accused of conspiracy to murder will now be appearing in this court. But one thing that Andy Morris has said to me, and Andy is Sasha Johnson's personal assistant, and what he has said is that I asked him the question about her, how she is progressing since I last spoke to him, and he said officially that Sasha Johnson is making progress. They won't be releasing any more information at this moment in time because they don't want every few minutes to be giving updates. But what we do know is that Sasha is alive and she's making progress. And this is what her personal assistant, Andy, has officially told StreetMic. But what is really amazing is that on most days at the bandstand outside of the hospital, or next to the hospital where Sasha Johnson is currently staying, there has been prayers and drumming taking place at this location on most days. Initially, it was for a period of 14 days. And I've been told that the inspiration and the vibes that come from the drumming in the park is what's keeping Sasha with us. And she's there, and Sasha she's a fighter. And I want to see Sasha return as strong as ever after going through this terrible, terrible, heinous event which took place on the 23rd of May. One thing I will say is that a lot of stuff has been said on social media, a lot of stuff has been said about what may or may not have occurred on the day. I don't want to get involved with speculation, nor do I want to get involved in sub judice issues. And when I talk about sub judice, trial is currently taking place, and what is going on in this court today, when Andy comes out, he will be telling us. But I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to say whether those 4 young lads who have been arrested with conspiracy to murder, if they did it or not. Let's see where the evidence takes us. Let's see what the findings of the court will be, and then we will know the truth. But there's a lot of chat out there about what did and didn't happen. We on StreetMic, we're trying to be responsible, and we will not be getting involved in that kind of chat. But I'm now going to look at my phone, and it says 9:25. So I'm now going to step away from the camera. So that's me. Normally you don't see StreetMic in the camera because I believe it's important that the people in front of the camera, they're the ones who tell the story, not me. And in a few moments, the accused will be appearing on video link with the judge here at the Central Criminal Court. And as we can see at the front of the building here, many people are making their way into the court, but I don't know who they are. There are probably a lot of them with their bags they're carrying. They're probably from the legal profession. But those people who want to appear in the public gallery have to go through, and I'll turn my camera around. They appear or they go through that door, on that door there. So Andy went through that door 20 minutes ago after giving StreetMic an exclusive interview. When he exits from hearing the evidence, he will then come back out and update our followers, anyone who's watching, in regards to what is going on down here at the Old Bailey. But what I will say is, for all of you who have been watching StreetMic, thank you very much. And if you like what you're seeing, please make sure you give me the thumbs up, and I'll give a thumbs up there. So give me the thumbs up, make your comments down below, share and follow. So if you like what StreetMic is doing, give me the thumbs up, make your comments down below, share and follow. Because what we do best, we go onto the streets of London, we meet interesting people, and we have an engaging conversation with them about any topic that is. And we've also started a new YouTube channel last week called StreetMic Livestream. So we started StreetMic Livestream last week, and if you like StreetMic, if you want to watch us on YouTube, go on StreetMic Livestream. We've only been going a week. We've got something like 84 followers, subscribers already. And I thank those 84 very much. But I don't want to see 84. I want to see 10 times that, 20 times that. And I'm confident that over a period of time, we will have thousands and thousands of followers. But at the moment, we've got 84 in a week. That's not too bad. We've got something like 2,000 on Facebook. And what is important is that if you want to watch StreetMic when we go live, you have to click your notification bell. So make sure you click your notification bell on Facebook and also on YouTube, so that every time we go live, you will be informed. But you can also find us on Vimeo, which is a private network. You can find StreetMic on Instagram. So you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Vimeo. But we're currently outside here, the Central Criminal Court, and who would believe it that only 5 weeks ago, Sasha attended a party and someone shot her in the head. And that's a fact. It happens. It's a fact that she's in King's College Hospital in Denmark Hill. That's a fact. What happened at the party, we don't know. But the police did call for witnesses or anyone with evidence who attended that party to step forward. So we know, as a fact, there was about 30 people who attended that party. We know as a fact, or a presumption, that many of those who were there must have seen something. Many of those who were there must have recorded something. So it's important, if you have any evidence that may be useful to the police, it is important that we as a community, doesn't matter you're black, white, pink, blue or green, if you have evidence that can help the police to investigate and solve this crime and to make sure that the perpetrators are brought to justice, please step forward. And during the last weeks, I know I'm talking a lot, but that's what I do. I talk. When I got people to interview, I can interview them. But what is important is that since Sasha has been shot, there has been a lot of chat on my Facebook page, etc., and many other social media outlets. Most of the things that has been said about Sasha has been great. And some people have said some naughty things, but let's put that to one side. I don't get drawn into all of that. But one of the things that has been said is that why would someone be calling for help from the police if only, when only, I beg your pardon, this time last year after the George Floyd murder in America, Black Lives Matter was calling for the police to be defunded. If you're calling for the police to be defunded, how can you be now calling for the police to investigate? And I'm going to be honest, I don't normally give an opinion, but on this occasion I will. I can understand that argument, but that argument has been put forward by those who did not understand the meaning of defunding the police. What BLM was actually calling for was for funds that go to the police, not 100% of the funds. Some of the funds should be put into youth services to help the youth to reduce levels of crime in the community, to improve things. So defunding the police was all about diverting some funds that went to the police and put them into youth services to ensure that the youth services are properly funding, thus reducing levels of crime which would benefit so many people. That is what defunding means. Defunding the police did not mean taking 100% funding away from our great metropolitan police. Yes, I've just said it, our great metropolitan police. They are the second best police force. I'll rephrase that. They are the second best police service in the world. I come from Barbados, and Barbados is the best. The Met is the second best. And we need a great police service to protect and serve. When they don't protect and serve, I've got no problem in giving them stress on StreetMic. I'm not scared. But in general, our police are great men and women. In general, they're great men and women. Great men and women. They do a great service. Yes, you do get the odd one or two, but the police have their own internal mechanisms that will seek them out and will weed them out. And when it doesn't happen, we've got all kind of different inquiries going on over historical times, just like over the last week, talking about corruption and all these kind of things. But over a period of time, those people who get away with things they shouldn't will be weeded out. I'm confident of that. And we want our police force, our police service, to be properly funded. We also want our youth services to be properly funded. And I'm confident that will happen under the leadership of Dame Cressida Dick. She knows StreetMic. I'm confident they watch all of my stuff. I'm not just saying this. I know when I go live, probably they're watching this in Scotland Yard in the Goal Control Centre. But this is what we do. We go onto the streets. And what we're doing now, I'm just telling you what goes on. As I said, we're currently outside of the Central Criminal Courts, which is the Old Bailey. And I'm watching all of my live streaming technical data to see, because on occasions, these streams drop. Even though you've got the best equipment, the streams do drop on occasions, but they come back. And I apologise for those of you who have watched StreetMic in the past. What goes up in the air and then gets fed to all of the different networks, I have no control technically over that process. I control what's recorded, the sound, everything. On occasion, there's been no sound. And on occasion, it's just cut out. But I apologise for that. That is beyond my control. And the time is now 9:36. So the case here should have started. And the accused, the 4 men accused of conspiracy to murder Sasha Johnson, should be appearing via video link, I believe, from Belmarsh Prison. They should be appearing, and the judge will be listening. And when we look around here today, just to give you at home a feel of how many people are down here, as you can see, there's hardly anyone. There's a couple of media houses down here. But those of you who are expecting a media scrum outside of the Central Criminal Courts today, it's not going to be happening. Even after Sarah Everard was murdered by Wayne Cousins some months ago, I was out here after he was arrested and after he also appeared. And then there was very little numbers of people down here. And those of you, please go onto my Facebook page, and what you will see is that I've recently is a couple hours ago, set up a group called StreetMic live stream. So if you want to be part of that group, I've invited a number of people to be part of that group. And the first discussion we're going to have is that I'm asking people to, let me let these gentlemen pass by, I'm asking people to, Yardin sir, tell me more about what events you would like StreetMic to cover and why. So just set up a new group on Facebook. So tell me more about what events you would like StreetMic to cover and why. That's just a nice, easy, slow start, because what I'm doing here, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into this, but I'm doing it slowly, slowly, slowly. What I will be doing next, and thank you for the young lady who said I must have a YouTube channel, and I've now done so. That was feedback from a young lady who made her comments down below, and I followed it up. Within a couple of weeks, we've got the YouTube channel, and now we've got 84 subscribers. We will have thousands eventually, but we're just starting out. And it will be the same also with the StreetMic live stream group. Let's have a easy discussion. Let's get some ideas. Let's go out on the streets and let's improve what we do. But what is important when you do this type of stuff is that one must engage with the audience, because one thing that's clear with statistics is that 10 times more people will watch a live stream than will watch a video. So 10 times more people will watch a live stream than will watch a video. I started out doing this as a sound-only podcast. So if you look on the stuff I've done, StreetMic Podcasts, that's the name on this, it started off as sound only. I weren't getting the downloads I wanted, so I went video, but I couldn't change the podcast name, I had to leave it. So StreetMic Podcasts, it's all about vision, so I started doing the videos. When you got the videos, you're getting a lot more views. Thousands, actually. So it went from a few to thousands overnight by giving you the visuals. And what then happened was that COVID-19 hit, and with COVID-19 we also had the live stream taking off in a big way. And what I decided to do was become a live streamer. And those of you who know me will know I don't do things in a small way, I do it big. So I invested heavily in equipment to make sure that I can give you good visuals, good sound, good photographs, good everything. And I wouldn't have believed that. Morning, sir. Sasha Johnson in a BLM Leader who was shot in the head.
Oh, yes.
4 people are now appearing before the judge, charged with conspiracy to murder.
Oh, really? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you want to go in front and I can interview you?
No, it's all right.
Are you scared? Thanks a lot, man. Cheers. So that's a gentleman just walking by, just asking what's going on down here. So I've just told him, yeah, so, interesting times ahead. And I wouldn't have believed that 12 months ago I would be standing outside the Central Criminal Court live streaming. But that is what I do now. And I love it. It's different, but it's very expensive to do this. But, those of you who know, I do a lot of live streaming of funerals. Sometimes I could do 4 a week. Sometimes I do none. It depends on what goes on. But on average, about 2 funerals a week. And it's really, I enjoy being able to live stream funerals and bring some amazing footage for families and friends who can't appear at the church, at a crematorium, at a grave. And it's so rewarding to be able to do that and live stream to people around the world. And, I was at a funeral yesterday. I'll be at 2 next week, 3 the week after. And, I would not have believed that a year ago I would have been doing that. And fortunately, that helps to pay for this. So I don't make no money doing this. This is a loss maker. But it is enjoyable to come onto the streets and engage with people. What we're seeing now in front of us outside of the Central Criminal Courts is that people throughout the day will go into the Central Criminal Courts and you will be checked to see if you've got any recording devices, to see if there's anything on you shouldn't have. And you cannot take certain things into a court, if not you could be charged with a criminal offence. And you are checked, and just outside of the criminal courts, and what I will do now, I will focus on it. There is a, see that there? That board has the names of all of those who are appearing in front of the various judges today. And the people who are appearing in front of the judge today, what I'm now going to do, I hope my sound does not fade out, but what I'm now going to do, I'm going to walk with my microphone and I'm actually going to look at the listings here, and I know you can all see me, and what I'm looking at is to see, sorry, yeah, I'm just looking at the, I'm permitted to check.
Hi, morning.
So as I can see, Court 5 sitting at 09:30, plea and trial preparation, Cameron D. Riggs, Devontae Brown, and there's various names on there, and they are appearing via video link. So it's got various names up here. There's all kinds of all different trials, but that is pleading and preparations, and I hope you could have heard me. And he's down there. You're too late, man. 9:30. 9:30. It started. So that's the boards where it lists the names of those who are appearing here today. Can I question you about?
Not a problem.
So, you know StreetMic?
Yes.
When I talk to you, just look in the camera. So, good morning. About 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago, we saw Andy Morris. I interviewed him, and then he was joined by this young gentleman, and then they went off to the public gallery. But now I've seen the gentleman return, and what I'm now going to do, I'm going to ask him about what occurred. So, could I ask your name, sir?
Yes, my name's Mo.
Mo, so if you speak up a bit more, because I haven't got a microphone on you. Normally I would put a microphone on you. So, a few moments ago, I actually saw you going off with Andy Morris to the public gallery. Now you're back. How comes you're back?
I'm back. Well, they only said that you can only they can only let one person in, so they ended up letting 3 family members in, which was the mother, the father, and the sister, and then after of the defendant, and they said that they could only let one close family relative person to go inside because they don't have enough space. So I ended up giving the position to Andy Morris.
What's it like for you to actually be down here today, to actually to be at a plea and preparations hearing where 4 people have been, and I'm choosing my words carefully, there are rules we have to comply with, they have been accused of conspiracy to murder. I'm not going into the rights or wrongs if they did or if they didn't, and I'm making that clear. What's it like for you to be here today when 4 people are appearing and where they will be technically giving their plea?
This is not something that I would have wanted to actually. I shouldn't even be here for Sasha. You know, like none of us wanted this to happen to Sasha. So for me and other close family members and close relatives and her close friends that ended up attending today to come to court, it's upsetting, you know, and it hurts because we would have never wished something upon Sasha, something like this to even occur, you know. So I mean, I'm here to give my full-on support. I've been marching alongside with Sasha for over a year now since I've met her, and she was a very close person to me, and it's just upsetting. And now, us as family and friends, we've come together, and we obviously just want justice. You know, we want justice for her, and we want justice for her family. So I mean, it's just a plea, but I mean, hopefully we can get a better result. You know.
Please tell StreetMic how you felt on May the 23rd after discovering that Sasha had been shot in the head in Consort Rd, Peckham, after attending a party. How did you feel?
I felt apart. I felt heartbroken. I've got no words to explain it because I couldn't believe it. You know, it didn't make any sense for our very own Sasha for that to happen. It's heartbreaking. I felt like something's missing. You know, our queen has gone, and like it's unbelievable. Yeah.
You was here when I asked Andy a very specific question, and one thing I tried to be is responsible and follow what the family want. The family don't want to keep giving out information drip, 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 and I welcome that. Andy has said that Sasha is making progress. I don't want to go into what that means, but are you happy to learn that Sasha is making progress?
Yes. I can go along with that. Sasha is making progress, slowly. I mean, she needs a bit more time for her to recover, but I mean, better than before. You know, a little bit better than before, and that's what we're praying for. We're praying for her to wake up as soon as possible in good health and come back to her family and her kids and everyone else.
Have you had the opportunity over the last 4 and a half weeks to go down to the park, Ruskin Park, and to listen to the drummings, to listen to the prayers?
Yes, I have, and it's been an absolute amazing pleasure for everyone getting together and showing their support. It's been good vibes and good energy, and that's what we need to keep up. And the prayers and the drummings, it's been amazing. You know, everyone's getting together, and we're with her in spirit, you know, and she knows. So we're praying for her to wake up as soon as possible.
And you know, the great thing is that I've been down there on many occasions, I've made many recordings, I've seen everything that people are saying. In general, most of the things that people have said are great, and they are urging and wanting her to wake up. And only a couple of days ago, Mavina from Black Lives Matter down in Bristol, I think it's Bristol, she wrote some beautiful stuff online about Sasha, and it was so great that so many people are willing her to get up, to recover, and to return to her former self. And I do thank you for giving StreetMic this opportunity. And before I leave, is there anything you want to add? Because I like to be good to people.
Yeah, I thank you for letting me speak today, but also praying for Sasha to wake up, and that's what we need right now, you know. We want her to wake up in good health, and justice will come. Don't you worry.
And one thing which is so great to hear you're saying about the praying and justice, I believe justice will come. I believe that eventually those who were responsible for this heinous crime will get what they deserve by the criminal justice system. And a lot of people have made comments, and I've already commented about, during Black Lives Matter protests last year, there was issues about BLM calling for defund the police, and how can you now be asking the police to invest? Don't tell me what to do. And then, listen, don't tell me what I can and cannot do. And what I do my bit. Yeah, so that is what is great. And people have been saying, how can you be calling for defund the police and then you're calling for the police to investigate? I honestly believe that those who are calling for that don't know what they're talking about, and those who have made these comments have misinterpreted what defunding meant. And Mo, thanks a lot for today. And I've no doubt when Andy comes down, we'll be getting further information from him.
Yes, thank you very much, and I hope everyone has a good, blessed day, and just keep Sasha in your prayers.
Excellent stuff. Thanks a lot, sir. How's that? That was nice and easy.
Nice and easy, thank you.
See, StreetMic knows.
Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Do you know who he is?
Yes.
Properly?
Yes.
Who is he?
We don't know.
He don't know who you are. He's just
Oh,
in the
oh,
He doesn't really. Do you know that Sasha's
Yes, I do.
sweetheart? Do you know that Sasha's sweetheart? Do you know they share the flat? So this is Sasha's. Oh.
See what I mean with you? No. I don't. This guy's been trying to sometimes. He knows I challenges him. Oh, come on. Come forward a bit. Spencer, good morning, sir. I haven't seen you for quite a while.
Morning. Been busy, been heartbroken. Obviously, reason why we're here. So, been a tough 4 weeks. Jobs, this, and all the other commitments as well. Do you know what I mean? So, it's been tough.
So, tell me, Spencer, as you know, Sasha was shot in Consort Rd on the 23rd of May at about 3 o'clock in the morning. What's it been like for you since you discovered?
Firstly, I really don't like using the word shot with someone I care about, so I use the word hurt.
Yeah.
She was hurt a few weeks ago. How has it been for me? Shocking, really shocking, depressing because of who we're here in court for today, because the people who have been arrested for this are the sort of people that Sasha would have put down whatever she was doing to help them. She would have put down whatever she was doing to feed their families if their families needed feeding. She would have put down whatever she was doing to educate them if they needed educating. If she was driving, going about her business, and she saw one of these lads getting stopped on the street corner, she would stop and challenge the police on their behalf. So when you take the context of who Sasha is, what she does and what she represents, and then you marry that against the people who have done this to her, it's even more depressing, Mike. It really is more depressing.
We're now at the Central Criminal Court where 4 people are appearing via video link from Belmarsh, charged with conspiracy to murder. I'm not going into the rights or wrongs of, but are you happy someone is now appearing charged?
I'm very happy. What we know is 4 people were there on that day. We now have 4 people charged. So I'm content, and content for now. What I did at the very start of this whole thing, there was a lot of talk about she was targeted, about the authorities did it, about I even heard talk about the English Defence League, EDL, had something to do. All of that talk I tried to put down because we needed to get to we needed for the investigation to speed up stuff that we need to know. And we've been proven right in a way because they got 4 people in court and 4 people were at the scene. And so we're content on that front.
It's great to hear that you are content, and it is correct that a lot of people have been speculating, and you know me, my style, it's not for me to speculate. I like to go on the fact, We know what the facts are. 4 people are now appearing, and what we need to do is follow the course of the trial and see what happens. And if these are the perpetrators of this heinous crime, then justice will prevail. If they're not, then hopefully that will come out, and then eventually the correct people. But the assumption is they've got people now.
We believe they've got the right people. We genuinely believe they've got the right people. Because, these people are known to... There's a whole situation around it that isn't known.
But we're not going to go there at the moment. There is a time and a place. But moving on, and let's ask me more about Spencer and 1 million people march in the future. If anything is being planned this year, because as you know, it is getting that. Look in the camera. It is getting that time where carnival time is coming up.
You're joking. What's she doing there? Okay. Sorry, repeat the question. No, don't say. I'll give you a few moments to catch yourself, and then so Spencer's now going to step away from the camera for a moment. You sure? So you know something? This is the great thing about live TV. You never know what is going to happen, and you have to react to what occurs in front of you, and that is one thing. So let's go back to yourself, Spencer. This was a question about the 1 million people march. And as you know, last year you had a very, very successful march on, I think it was Bank Holiday Sunday or Monday. Bank Holiday Monday. Are you planning anything this year? Because even last... Yeah, see, even you, I said Sunday or Monday. Holiday Sunday, you're right, sorry. It was the 30th of August. Yeah.
So are you planning anything this year? Because, you know, I looked back on a video yesterday and I saw the one when you was having a robust debate with the key officer about, you remember? So what plans do you have?
Well, you know what? At the moment, all plans in that nature have to be put aside. All plans in that area have to be put aside. As you know, Sasha's a big part of what we did. Sasha helped it all in a huge way to come together. Sasha marshalled the day. Yeah, that day we called her our soldier queen, our warrior queen, because she marshalled the day. And trying to put anything on without her is unimaginable. It's totally unimaginable. I'll be honest with you, we're keeping an eye on everything that's going on. The new laws the government's bringing in, who to address our protest acts. We're keeping an eye on everything. I've got my channel. I keep in touch with everything. At the moment, we're now in June. There isn't a lot, from my knowledge, there isn't a lot on the cards from other groups other than the corona and the lockdowns or protests and stuff like that. And I'm not really involved in that. However, like I said, at this present time, it's all about pausing for a second, using all our energy in getting our queen back on her feet. Once that's achieved, if it means we miss out on 2021 doing anything until she's good again to come back in 2022, so be it. There's no way we're putting anything on without Sasha. You know, so that's the long or short answer to your question. But we're not on that tip right now. We're thinking about is getting Sasha better.
I hear you, but as an avid campaigner like myself, what has the last year been like for you? Not actually being able to go onto the streets as such and do what you like to do, because I remember the first time I met Spencer. It was down at Westminster. I saw this guy with a white hair coming on, and it's like he had an aura around him. Last time I saw a similar aura was when I met, and I told you before, was when I met Tony Blair. That was the aura. Can you believe that? That's the aura he had.
I take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment.
I actually like Tony Blair. I voted for him. He was the first time I voted.
So now we disclose.
That's a compliment. What's the last year been for me? It's been a lot of disruptions, you know. It's just been a lot of start and stop. And I'll be honest with you, the last 8 months has been taken up by the new bill the government's putting through Parliament has been taken up by people who are protesting against what they call their freedoms being taken away, which I disagree with. So that's sort of sucked up the air, if you like. So we haven't really progressed much on the BLM sort of aspects of the fight.
I'm now going to stop the.
On the BLM side of the.
So I'm just letting you know, Andy Morris has now arrived.
Yeah, he's just come out the court, so we'll find that we'll get an update shortly, I'm sure. So like I was saying, the last 8 or so months has been taken up by other sidetracks, should I say, by other protests and other people coming out the streets. We're hoping to settle down once we get further clarification on how Sasha is. But again, until then, Mike, my head is just not there. It's a bit like going to war without your general, without one of your generals. That won't be the right time to attack the enemy, would it? You'd be waiting for your general to get better. You know what I mean? She is one of our generals, no doubt. She's one of the youngest in the crew, but if not the youngest in the crew, but she, you know how she is. So we're not looking at attacking anything at the moment until she gets better.
Spencer, thank you very much for giving StreetMic this interview. You know, me and you always have robust discussions. We may not always agree, but we're in a similar line. Tell me, how's the YouTube channel going?
YouTube channel's going great. Sign up. It's called The Full 100, The Full 100 on YouTube. You asked me, so.
Oh, do you have to use the opportunity to publicise?
Okay, it's going okay. I've got a few videos uploaded in dedicated to Sasha. I've got a few videos up there for guys who want to go and see what that's like. So that's in dedication to Sasha. Sasha was a big part of the evolution of that channel as well. So, I haven't been as regular either on the channel because of this. Yeah, I just haven't been regular. Last week I only put out a video instead of 3. So it's been stop and start since this has happened to Sasha as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much, and I look forward to working in partnership with you.
Keep up the good work. Let me get an update first.
So in a few moments we'll be getting an update from Sasha's PA, Andy Morris, who has just come out of the Central Criminal Court here at the Old Bailey, where 4 gentlemen have been appearing in front of a judge via video link, charged with conspiracy to murder Sasha Johnson. And I had the opportunity to interview Andy before he went into the court. That was not on live stream because it happened about 20 minutes before we went live. But in a few moments, I will be interviewing Andy. It would be nice with a. I'll do it with a safety criminal side in the background. So we're going to get more details about what just occurred in the Central Criminal Court. And just imagine, this is StreetMic, and we are the only broadcasters out there who has this type of information. We're engaging on the streets of London, and let's wait and see. But Andy's currently speaking to Spencer, and Spencer is the person who arranged the 1 Million People March last year. And I love Spencer. We always disagree, but we get on well. And in a few moments, we're going to get. So for all of you watching, my name is Wendell Daniel, and welcome to StreetMic, and we're coming to you live and direct from outside of the Central Criminal Court, or the Old Bailey, where 4 gentlemen have appeared via video link, charged with conspiracy to murder Sasha Johnson, who was shot in the head in Consort Rd in Peckham on the 23rd of May.
She is a very...
Excuse me, do not argue. I've invited her today. I've invited her.
She was a big part of all the...
Hello.
So Andy, good morning and thank you very much. You've just come out of the Central Criminal Court where 4 people accused of the conspiracy to murder Sasha Johnson appeared via video link. Could you possibly tell StreetMic what occurred?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot to understand, but they were explaining that there are various stages in this case that have got to be observed, and the most significant is that they've set it down. I mean, it's going to be public record, so I might as well just put it out. So the 5th of November, there will be a case management hearing before this court, unless it's deemed that it should go to another court, but it sounds like it is going to be at this court. So on the 5th of November, they will manage the case and they'll set it down for trial, because there are considerations I didn't think about in this case, and that is that there are custody time limits, and those custody time limits run out for one defendant in January and the other 3 defendants in February. So it has to be set down for trial, and my understanding from what the judge was indicating to the prosecutor and the counsel for the defendants is that they will set down a 6-week trial on the 5th of November. So at that case management hearing, they will decide what best fits in terms of the custody time limit, and then we'll go from there. I have to say, I was a bit disappointed to go into the court, and I mean, there are some of us that have appeared here for Sasha and in relation to the family, but not specifically representing the family per se. And the amount of people that were allowed in was so restricted. There were 4 people in the court. So there were 3 people for the defendants, and then myself. I was allowed to go in, as somebody here for Sasha. And I'm really disappointed by that. I really am, because it has a throwback, I think, to this Smorlax series that went out on the BBC, where we saw a depiction of people who were prevented. I don't know if you remember this, but prevented from getting into court. And I know that COVID is an issue. I know that COVID is a real situation, whatever people may think. I know that there are people that are experiencing symptoms. I believe that I had what may have been flu or COVID at some point last year, but the point I'm trying to make is this: for justice to be done, it has to be seen to be done, and if people want to be able to feel a part of the proceedings, then they need to be allowed into court to observe those proceedings. Because I've come out here now to give your viewers and my friends here what is effectively second-hand information, and yes, it will be reported at some point, but that's neither here nor there. If people want to come and be involved in court to see it themselves, they need to be allowed to do that. And I just think that it's such a shame. I'm privileged that I was allowed to be able to go in, but it shouldn't be the case in legal situations. I mean, access to justice, has to be, given on all levels, and that has to be the case. It can't be the norm that we only allow a select number of people in based on somebody's on a whim, somebody's decision that, well, yes, you can come in, you can come in, but you can't. That can't be allowed. I think that something needs to be addressed, because you see, the fact is, and I hope that people won't mind me saying this, particularly the family, is that while the defendants are represented in there, Sasha isn't. Because people will say, yes, she's represented by the state. She's not represented by the state. She's not represented by the state, and I need to make that really clear. The state represents the state. And so while it's fantastic to have a prosecutor in there who's doing his job, nobody is representing Sasha, and that's my overriding concern. So when it comes down to it, nobody should be prevented from accessing a court building.
A couple of quick questions. Yeah, when you say no one is representing Sasha at this moment in time, I'm assuming that's because, but you can correct me, I'm being devil's advocate, I'm assuming that's because it's the Crown or R versus someone. When it's like that, isn't it normally the state who takes on the case? Therefore, it's the state prosecutors who prosecute.
Yes, yes, that is the case, but I just feel that because of the situation that we're in, in many situations, when somebody faces a charge, particularly if they're innocent, You're going to want to have supporters there, and if supporters or people who are close to that person are not allowed to be there, then effectively they're not there. They're not being heard. You know, as I say, you know, I'm Sasha's PA, and that doesn't make me special and different. But there are things and situations, just like some of her friends, that I will have seen and been involved in that no one else will have seen. But I've not spoken to anybody. I'm not volunteering to speak to anybody because there's nothing that I have to say in that respect. However, you know, I just say that to say that I don't feel that Sasha is really represented here. I mean, I hope that I've represented her in some way today by just being here and hearing what I've just heard. I've heard some stuff which is encouraging, just in the sense, because my concern about this was that it's all happened very quickly. I have no issue with, you know, people, you know, if they're guilty, being arrested very quickly and being brought to book. I have no issue with that, but the evidence has to be correct. I'm now learning. I mean, I remember reading that there was CCTV evidence in this case. That's now been confirmed because it was mentioned in court. There are various bits and pieces that are going to be disclosed to the defence by the prosecution. You know, if this is a cut and shut case, fine. But if it's not, what I'd hate to see, to be quite honest with you, is somebody get away with committing this crime because somebody didn't do their job properly.
My second question to you, and it's mainly for my viewers. The accused are appearing via video link. Do you get that opportunity in the court to see those video links yourself?
Yes, you do. I can't see it very clear, and as you see, I wear glasses. I mean, when I sat in the public gallery, because that's where I was placed, the video link screen was on the other side of the room, and it's quite small. I could see two of the defendants who were together, represented by one lawyer, and then the other two were represented individually by separate lawyers. Two of them, who I presume were in Belmarsh or somewhere like that, were, from what I could see, appeared to be in sort of jumpsuit, tracksuit type things, grey tracksuit, prison issue tracksuits, but I couldn't see them very clearly.
And how many defendants appeared via video link today? Was it 3 or 4?
I only saw 2, but there were smaller images at the bottom of the screen, and I don't know who all those individuals were. What I do know is that the prosecutor and all of the lawyers weren't in court today. They were all on video link, and 2 of the defendants I could see, they were on video link. But I know that the other 2 were represented by one lawyer, but the others were represented by their counsel, and the counsel were also on the video link.
In closing, Andy, you've had the opportunity now to come down to the court to see the legal process now starting off. And I appreciate what you've said. You may not be happy with certain aspects, specifically because the Crown or the state is now fighting the case on behalf of Sasha. But in general, are you happy that things are coming together? The reason I'm asking the question, last time we spoke, as you remember, I went to Consort Rd. Myself and Clive Morrison, we appealed for witnesses to step forward after the police had stated issues about people not coming forward. And what you said was that you were concerned that there may not be evidence being disclosed because at least 30 people were at the party and someone must have evidence.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? By the sounds of it, it sounds to me like the prosecution have a lot of evidence, and it sounds like that evidence still is yet to get into the hands of the defence so that they can mount whatever their defence is going to look like. I would constantly appeal to people that if they have any information, give it. Please give it, because you know what, this stuff cannot be allowed to go unchallenged. It can't. We can't sit here and be going around shooting people and thinking that that's okay, and it doesn't matter, the colour of people's skins, because people want to make it a black and a white thing. It's not about black and white, because, guns and violence know no colour. They have no bounds. When we were talking about a knife crime epidemic in Glasgow, which is predominantly white, no one was saying that was white on white violence. So let's get away from this black on black crime. The fact is, a woman, a mother, and an activist is laying in hospital having been shot. Now, it doesn't matter who the individuals are, and I'm not going to convict these people in my mind until the evidence does.
Let's see the evidence.
Yeah, let's see the evidence. If the evidence convicts them, then that is enough for me. But if there's no evidence that convicts them, as far as I'm concerned, they are innocent until they're proven guilty.
In closing, look into the camera. And you know, I like to be fair to everyone I interview. Is there anything else you would like to add that I haven't asked before I close?
No, not really. I mean, I'm just out here. I'm with a couple of other friends that are really important and special to Sash. You know, people like Mo here, who a lot of people will have seen on a lot of the stuff. You know, on the because he was by her side all the time, and it's really important that people recognise that. None of us out here are any special and different. We're all here for one reason and one reason alone. But Mo is really important.
One thing I've intentionally not done
as well. You've spoken to Spence.
One thing, I think you know my style. One thing I've intentionally not done is to disclose anything about Mo, and that was intentional. And I'm not going to unless Mo wants to. And I think that's the proper way of doing things. Yeah. And next, can you maybe go behind, Spencer? Go behind. No, go. Yeah. He's taller. Yeah. Excellent. So we've now got Mo, we've got Spencer, and we've got Andy. So Mo, tell me how you're feeling now that you found out from Andy exactly what has occurred in the court today.
Well, to be honest...
Hold the microphone.
All right, cheers, thank you. Well, to be honest, the court date is on the 5th of November, so, I mean, we just have to see until then, and what evidence they actually have against these people, and hoping that at the end of the day there is some justice, and it can be dealt with as soon as possible. Yeah. That's what we're hoping for, and at the same time, hopefully Sasha would have recovered by then, and hopefully she can be here as well to have her say and have her statement taken down of the whole incident that occurred, you know, and yeah.
Excellent. I can see you're very emotional.
I am. I'll be honest with you. I'm heartbroken. We all are, you know, and it's been depressing, but we just have to stay strong and stick together and try to be as positive as possible and not try to think of the worst.
Yeah, that's correct. Spencer, is there anything that you would like to add?
Just that, obviously, Andy's told us that they are trying to get the case dismissed. Knowing how this stuff works, they're always going to attempt to try and get the case dismissed. That's standard. But it's nothing that we're worried about. The court process will take its process, and we'll take it from there. But obviously, you know, we wait and see what happens in November 25th, right? No, 5th. November the 5th. So we wait and see what happens.
It's going to be fireworks on that day.
We'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, all go. Yeah, Andy?
And in closing, Andy?
Do you know what? I think I've said all I need to say. I'd still encourage people, you know, if you have information, pass the information. I would encourage people to, you know, support the GoFundMe. Let's not forget about the GoFundMe that's out there, that's set up by Marvina Newton. And that's really it. We'll see what happens on November the 5th.
I did forget to ask. Tell us some more about the GoFundMe and how that's progressing, because the last time we spoke, you said you was getting close to a figure that had been set. But where are we at the moment?
I think the GoFundMe has just gone over £10,000 so far. The target is 20, and you know, obviously it's designed because when she starts to recover, you know, she's going to need that support. But also, there's 2 kids out there, you know. So whatever our thoughts are about what is going on behind us are immaterial to, you know, where we're going now, because our focus is really very much on Sasha.
Thank you very much. So for all of you who are watching, my name is Wendell Daniel, and we've been coming to you live and direct from outside the Central Criminal Court here in London, or the Old Bailey. And we've had the opportunity to speak with Andy Morris, Spencer, and also Mo. And all of them love Sasha very much, and she has played a very important part of all of their lives. And what I will do is that we will keep you updated as much as we can. We're not going to be drip feeding information, only when relevant information is available, we can tell you. And what Andy has said to me earlier on, that Sasha is making progress, and that is enough information for now. But what I would like to say is thank you for watching StreetMic. And don't forget, if you like what you're seeing, give me the thumbs up, make your comments down below, share and follow. And those of you will know that I've just started a new YouTube channel. We only started last week. And if you like what I'm doing, you can find me on YouTube, StreetMic live stream. And if you want to watch StreetMic, please remember to switch on the notification bell on YouTube and also on Facebook. But thank you very much for watching, and we will be back tomorrow from the mass protest in London. We will be back on Sunday also, where there's going to be a big dance protest in London. StreetMic will be all over the streets. There's nothing we can't do, and we thank you very much. Hold on, I'll get Spencer to make one more announcement.
Guys, if you're watching this, go to GoFundMe, search for Sasha Johnson's GoFundMe page, which was put up by Marvina Newton, and please help us help her young sons. Yeah. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir. Obviously you don't. Sir, I agree with you. I don't know facts. Hold on. Until you know facts, the only out there setting up stuff, and you don't have no information about anything that's going on. The only fact, the only fact I know, sir. The only fact I know, and I'll say this, on the 23rd of May, Sasha was shot. That's the only fact I know, and I know she was then taken into King's College Hospital. That's the only facts I know. Listen, I've got no problem in giving you my.
Let me hear what's coming out of your mouth. I need to understand. Because you see what it is. I'll be honest, yeah. You see us as black people, we're all out here now standing in front of each other. Not understanding the deepness of what's going on right now. You understand? It's deeper than what you think.
Of course, no. Let's agree it's deep. Let's agree it's deep.
Understand how serious this is. This is a serious thing.
No. Go on, carry on.
Yeah? So if you're going to be out here, please, until you know the facts and you know the ins and outs, you know both sides, both stories on both sides, yeah? Don't be out here speaking about anything. It's not cool.
All right, can I come in there? Can I come in there with due respect? One thing about what I do, StreetMic, I go on and I speak with people.
But I'm sorry to cut you. Let me just say one thing.
Go on.
You've been speaking to these guys, yeah? Obviously, I'm guessing they're here with Sasha Johnson. Yeah. But have you been interested in speaking to anybody else? Please take that off, please. Hello, excuse me. Hello. Don't record me, please. Don't record me, please. Don't record me, please. Hey, listen, delete that. Don't record me.
Tell this woman don't
Pardon me?
Don't get my mud in this bum. I like this and I don't this is don't you hear that?
No,
I don't disrespect women.
why are you there?
She's just independent. No, but why she come and say me touch her and she come and bump with her? Brother, tell her not attack.
I'm not attacking her, I'm just saying I'm having a conversation, a serious conversation. This woman's there recording like this is some puppy show or something.
Can I come in there, sir? Please, sir. What we need to remember. Sir, no, don't. What we need to remember, I'm trying to be, if you want to talk to me about the problem, what you got to remember, once you're in a public park,
I get all of that, but I get all of that, I understand all that, you can do all that crap. This is something that these people, white men, have allowed you to say, okay, it's cool to record people, but I'm not happy with being recorded. You understand? I'm my own person. I walk alone. I don't walk with everyone else. So I can't agree with everything that because these people have set things in stone. We should agree with everything they're saying. Is that what you're saying to me? But so you're about to tell me some law. I don't go by law.
What I try to do is when I give him a proper name. Yeah, forget me, StreetMic. Forget my name is Wendell Daniel, and one thing I enjoy, and I use that term, is going out and I try to be impartial. Yeah, it's correct. At the moment, I get one side. I get a point of view. But when I get a point of view, I try not to give a bias. I'll apply a bias to say, this person is wrong, this person is right, or if someone has appeared in a court, there is no evidence at this moment in time that that person is guilty or anything. So the important bit is, all you can go by is a fact.
Sorry, I heard this guy saying,
No, but not me.
No, I think he was on the thing of, oh yeah, they always going to say they're innocent. How does he know they're not innocent? How does he know?
What you would have heard if you'd have come 5 minutes earlier is me saying, I don't care what the situation is, they are innocent until wait. They're innocent until they're proven guilty.
Yes, that's what I would want to hear.
Of course, yeah.
They're going to say this, they're going to say
No one ain't out
that.
here.
Doesn't know anything. I can't speak on Sasha Johnson. I don't know her.
No, of course.
I don't know her.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. Let's listen, man. I think. Are you friends of someone who's accused?
And my friends know. My son is in for this. For the same matter that we're speaking about right now. And this is why I'm so frustrated and annoyed about what's going on, because we've got a woman here. I'm simply asked her kindly, can you not record me? She's there looking in my face saying no. Get out of my face. Like, come on man, you're meant to be a grown woman. Yeah? I'm asking you nicely, kindly, can you not record me? You're telling me why am I coming in your face? You're meant to be, I look at you as a my mother's age.
They're not interested.